Good evening, this is Nerds to Human, and welcome back to our Western Roman Empire campaign. And you join us on a momentous day, a sad day, to be honest. Is it a goodly evening? Well, Valentinianus, the executioner, finally passed away. In Colonia Agrippina, let it not be said that he did not defend the borders until the very last. He saw the dangers, and he stepped into Vicus Franci. He stepped forth to Colonia Agrippina, and he fought off the Burgundii horde. Well, not quite a horde, but you know, the perfidious fools who decided to attack us. Okay, well, that does leave us, well, generalless pretty much in this part of the world. We have Nero Flavius. He does exist, but, okay, we're getting some retraining done here. We've got enough to kind of hold the line for the time being. We have obviously destroyed 2 of their forces, so whilst they are sending more troops our way, yeah, nothing too immediate by the looks of it. So, obviously, we do have plenty over here in Londinium. Now, Placus the Cruel, oh, that's harsh. I mean, I did take away some of his retinue, but he's still a cavalry commander of genius, damn it. Noble aspect, a destroyer. People forget. People forget too much. Okay, well, Placus the Horseman, quite frankly, is going to stick around in York and Londinium. When we've taken it back, of course. But Marcus the Gambler, obviously, he can head back over towards Colonia Agrippina and look after this part of the world. However, Aurelius Flavius, yes, this chap here does look very good indeed. And obviously, with a new faction leader, as is being crowned over here, Decimus Flavius, yes, as a new faction leader is in play, he is 53, we're going to need a new faction heir. And I have been looking around, and I do think Aurelius Flavius, at 22, taking over from his father and from Marcus the Gambler, oh, I think, look at this lad, look at that chin, look at that handsome exterior, and don't tell me that he is not the best man for the job. He's got some obscene retinue and traits already. He's a fruitful and handsome lad. What more could you ask for? He sees virtue in poverty. His wife is intelligent, and what more could you ask then? You know, even when he was forced to be a Christian, he accepted those terms. He saw that was the direction of the empire. So, Aurelius Flavius, you, my good sir, you will be named a faction heir. Sorry, Publius Flavius. Didn't mean to take it off you. You're still a very influential sir. I'm sure you'll get over that one. He probably won't rebel. He's very loyal. He's very loyal, so no need to worry about any of that. So there we are, new faction heir, coming of age. I'll be honest, the next generation may be starting to not look so good. Feeble of brain. That's harsh. But to be fair, he doesn't know how to like crack a smile, so that is potentially true. Doubtful courage, but he's positive. I mean, that's the thing, you know, ignorance is bliss, and perhaps that is what we see in this lad. Maybe, should we even send him to an academy? I wonder if, because he's got that trait, I'd love it. I'd love it. I mean, like, the trait system is so ridiculous on this game. It would be amazing if you sent him to an academy and he actually struggled to pick things up because he's too feeble of brain. And that's in there, getting doubtful courage as well, which is, as I say, a bit mean on him. For some reason, I've sent all of my boats over this way and I haven't got any left. So, you know, there is an academy in Carthage. You can stick your dad for now so you don't trip over the steps and fall to your death. But he'll need to be sent somewhere. Let's hope, if nothing else, he can at least learn to be, well, he's loyal. Maybe he can learn something. So we'll leave him at the academy for now, and perhaps in time useful things will happen. Cyrene. Cyrene is under siege. Bit of a problem. I did sally forth, but there are so many archers. And the javelins thrown in as well. We got absolutely shredded. I did manage to at least damage the horses. One unit's gone, the other horses are damaged. So some work has been done, but we're just going to have to charge out and take them on in hand-to-hand, I think. That might be the only way we can do that. So we'll get onto that very soon. Other than that, well, we do have Ephesus over here. Let's just use that little boat trick for a moment. There we go. And our army can't... Ah, you see, it works for the boats moving, but not to get the armies off. Fine. We'll get the spy over into the city. Marvellous stuff. Let's get our assassin in there. 21%, not a bad effort. And he missed. He's inexperienced, this lad, but it wasn't too low a percentage for a first effort, so oh well. Right, we'll leave the boats there. Ephesus can fall very soon indeed. As for a newly crowned faction leader, Decimus Flavius, he started to pick up some command, which is excellent news indeed. He has gained one from being Augustus, but he's got confident commander because he has now started doing something. So we're going to send him this way. I know it might not seem the most spectacular of routes, but he's just going to swing down Sinope, Caesarea and Tarsus, and from there we can go into Antioch. This other army is a bit smaller. It can swing into these two settlements, and there is a third force that's kind of slowly gathering over in Rome with another of the young lads here who's not too bad. He has picked up Gloomy, which is a bit sad in more the ways than one, I suppose. He's got so many good traits, but he's picked up Gloomy, which upsets me, but maybe we can work around that. We'll see. Maybe he doesn't need to be a proper general, but he's got some really good traits from all of that for movement points and the military engineer as well. So we'll see. We will see about all of that. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe one morale isn't the end of the world. End of term report. Well, money is still a bit of a problem because we're pushing a bit hard on the armies right now. And yeah, I think we need to get back to... Well, what's also happened, by the way, is because obviously earlier on we were sacking things, we've had to turn the tax rates back down. There was a point where I got to put them all up to high, and that's no longer the case. Arles, oh yes, of course. Oh, did he die as well? I don't remember him dying. Okay, well, we'll change that round to Christian, because that will do the job. Right, we're going to have some money when we go and burn down Londinium, and it was just burnt down, but we'll probably burn it down again just for good measure. So, assault Londinium. Ah, yes, good old Wormninkle. And he is... Oh, yeah, he should be the last of the faction. He's lenient. Look at that. See, we were cruel and he's lenient. Make up your mind, Londoners. Utter bastards, the lot of them. Right, let's hit him and we'll slaughter him. Well, as we start to attack Londinium, it's interesting we're quite away from the Thames, it should be said, but we can see the boats over there. It's beautiful over in Tilbury and over in Southend. Oh, it's just beautiful. And over here, we are just shooting them down at the gate, as you might well imagine. Kind of standard stuff here, really. Getting whatever shots we can. It's a bit of an awkward one for shooting over the walls. It's a bit of a narrow section without any of those long paths up in any one direction. So probably minimal shots at the gateway here, but I always do like taking in the scenery of our city. We do have some public baths. I mean, I'm saying this as if it wasn't my city until quite recently. Triumphant Arch, I don't know, apparently the Saxons built that for their great triumph. The arena where we burn down all of the Saxons that we find in their capital in the invasion next year, and you know what, there are some more triumphal arches, probably for battles that I don't remember. Too many genocides, to be honest. I can't keep track of them all. Archers shooting in from the edge of the plaza, and of course we do have ourselves a beautiful shield wall. A slightly knobbly, bobbling around shield wall, but it will do the job. A little bit weak on one side, trying to get this to line up against the building can be a bit awkward. But anyway, the warlord's going to charge in a very pathetic attempt to poke a shield wall, which I don't think is the most effective way of doing this in the world. But there we go. So some arrows are being shot in. I will send my general in to support. So, with these guys doing some lovely, lovely, lovely work, let's send in the warlord. We've held them in position for long enough. There we go, immediately demolished by a new faction leader. Well, soon to be faction leader. I mean, I don't mean that. I take it back. I take it back. You're not the faction leader yet. Anyway, our faction heir is doing a lovely, lovely job. These guys are going to hold position, and the general's just going to line themselves up and smash into those Saxon Guild. So we actually do have 14 of the warlords still left. It's just that they are, of course, fighting without their general at this point. Saxon Guild gets smashed, and choppy, choppy, pushy, pushy, and yeah, just keep pushing them off. My guys, can you go off guard and just let them push you? Actually, move back. Just fall back. We'll push them off the plaza. Now, let the horses do their work. There we go. You guys reform over there. Lost a few men doing that, but it's probably worth it because now we'll be able to get the route, assuming we can push them all off the plaza. There's the route. That's what you want. And you guys start attacking them. That'd be perfect. And they're both routing. Chopped up. Job done. Just this horse. There we go. One more to kill. Anyone want to kill him? That's probably a good idea. Anyone? There we go. We got the plaza at least. He's now routing. Which apparently the rest of the unit routed with him being on the plaza, which is a bit strange. Heroic. He never really should have lost this in the first place, frankly, but you know, it's fair enough. We saw a sensible tactical retreat from Aurelius Flavius, and between him and his father Placus, victory is ours. Victory and some glory will burn down the Londoners who didn't get the message last time. It will build them a wall, so that's future incursions that aren't going to happen. Can not happen. Good. Good. Right, well, most of this army can royally sod off. We'll leave Placus behind with the Foederati. But other than that, I think they're pretty much... yeah, pretty much all just need to get off in this direction. So we'll send somebody Matane to do the job. We'll send Felix the... well, it's a bit of a failure in his old age, but he's been excellent through history, so we'll... we should really just let him retire, to be honest, and have a nice life. But there we are. Vicar Saxonus has not completely fallen. Interesting. I forgot about that part. Okay. So, do we... where is our other assassin? I don't know where he's ended up. He's somewhere around here, probably trying to poke them in the throat. I'm not sure. Oh, there we are. There is Nepos the Killer. Get some practice on this guy. Useless. And fine, then plod over in this direction. How good are you, by the way? 4. Not too bad. You really shouldn't have failed that. There's a diplomat and there's a faction leader. Well, we'll kill the faction leader first and foremost. Okay, good. Well, the boats are heading over there, and by boats I mean we got one boat. So maybe we'll send a second just to make sure we're safe. But Aurelius Flavius can do his job. Marcus the Gambler can come along for good measure. And whilst we've lost a few men in our battles, it's not too many, we'll be fine. Good. And before we end our turn, of course, we do have the Battle of Cyrene. So, okay, we have Captain Lucius over here. What is left? Alright, yeah, I did mostly take out the cav. There's one unit left and just a few of that unit. So many archers, causing me a lot of problems. I do have reinforcement archers coming in. It's not a lot, it's just 2 units, but it's something. We're going to have to be a little bit careful here, but we should be fine enough. Let's hit him. Well, as the siege begins, we do need to bear in mind that these archers are a bit vulnerable out here, so some cavalry are coming out to defend them. Luckily, I did think of that because they got awfully tempted by us for a minute there. These archers, though, are now left very vulnerable. So let's go and take out one unit while we have the opportunity to. Those archers don't need to be running anymore. They can just plod in that direction. Everyone else is getting themselves in position. I think we just have ourselves one unit of archers on the walls. The rest are going to stay down here because we're going to try and pull them into us if at all possible. So this guy can hopefully deal with those archers. Just basic lads. Okay, that was a terrible charge. We just clipped the back of him. But I don't think we're quite in range of the others, so that's good. There we go. They're broken. And that should at very least pull some more units in towards us. If we can go and hit these archers, they want to run at us. That's absolutely grand. I'll take that opportunity every day of the week. In we go. Smashy, smashy. And they are Eastern archers, so they're going to hold on for a moment, but the rest of them aren't in position, so we'll continue to try and take advantage of this as much as possible. Archers get themselves into position. Their archers are currently idle, but they should be in range. They don't want to shoot their own. Yeah, but now there aren't enough of them left, so get out of there. Get out of there. In a slightly more away from the archers kind of range would be good for you. Thank you very much. Right. Good little early skirmish. One unit of East of archers down, one unit of archers down. And our units are getting themselves into position. Well, at this point, the archers are just going to get themselves overwhelmed by our archers, which is good news indeed. The other guys from the walls might as well get off at this point. We'll use these guys to do a bit of mopping up, so we'll run some out to a flank. You guys, as soon as those archers are in range, shoot them instead. They are sending comitatenses forward. That's fine. We'll just charge our generals up into these guys. Good. Those Eastern archers probably aren't in range. Maybe they are, actually. That's a bit of a concern. Okay, scrap all this. Get this line further forward. Infantry, keep moving. That was a waste of your javelins, my good sirs. Right, General, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. I think at this point we just need to take advantage of what we've got and really just get this whole archer force pegging it full speed. And where are you? Oh, you're that unit. Okay, I thought it was the one that was still on the wall. That makes more sense, to be frank. As for these guys, yeah, just honestly, just get yourself straight in there at this point. Run into an actual throwing your javelin in position. We just want to get in now. Archers are going to hopefully do some nice work. General, get yourself out there. Oh, I've just ruined all of their orders now for Pete's mahogany table. Yeah, get yourself right squared up in front of them, and we'll get the generals out to the flanks. General, yeah. Oh, the archers are a little bit vulnerable when they are sensing that, so they're just going to charge in. Unfortunately, that cavalry is going to hit him. Bit of a shame. That's fine. So, General. So yeah, their cavalry's done some interesting work here. Yeah, just throw javelins as much as you can. Is that my? Oh, that's the enemy general. Good. I forgot which colour I was for a moment there, and I got very, very, very scared. Okay, we've got a rout at that flank. Why are these guys just standing there? I don't know what they're doing. You shoot some things into them. That's the general doing good work. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. This is what we need to see. They're also out of this. Just hit these guys. They're the ones causing most of the problems at this stage. And my other cavalry, you can just come and do some mopping. You're out there on the flank. Yeah, come and mop up. Lovely stuff. That should be the battle pretty much. There's some Eastern archers at the very rear just trying to push on. But we've done the job here. Bit of damage. That cavalry charge on the quintessences did not go well for us, but there is official victory. And I can't complain about that. Get those equites. In fact, the towers will probably get them. We'll never catch them. So, Comitatus is going to throw some javelins in. General's going to charge, see what he can mop up. Would be nice to not see these guys again, but some of them are unfortunately going to get away. Only 15% killed. That's not too bad considering it was a sizable force and an awkward one to take on with quite so many Eastern archers. Job done. Well, it's a new day and Vicus Saxonis is now under siege. There are a fair few units in here. We have some Herf troops, pretty darn solid all around. Hunters up on their stone walls and some chosen axemen to boot. Mounted nobles are no pushover, and yes, this lad over here looks pretty young and basic, but still 40 heavy cav. We have to be careful. This is a proper test for Marcus and Aurelius, so we'll see how that one goes. We have stone walls to deal with, so we're going to get a load of towers and yeah, climb up there. Hopefully it'll be absolutely fine. We've got some heavy infantry here to do the job, but you never know. We need to be careful about that one. As for elsewhere in the Empire, oh yes, over in Rome, this chap is getting a good education and armour, +1 for morale, adding to his already pretty decent traits. Nice to see. Improves public order is always an excellent one. Extra Christian conversion. Lovely stuff. I mean, Greece will need to be converted, so yeah, perhaps moving over to Athens is your next job. Indeed, yeah, we need to get a boat back over there so that we can do just that. We are a few turns away from any boats re-emerging, so maybe Rome. Maybe in Rome we could just get one over at Caralis. Yes, we'll just get ourselves a nice trio at Caralis. That'll be absolutely fine. We have one more turn here and we'll just get another horse archer for him. That's probably nice. You know what, it'll be 2 turns because it'll need to come over here anyway. So we might as well get ourselves some nice troops. So we'll get these Plumbadari retrained. Get those Sarmatians retrained. And we've got 2 turns. Oh yeah, make it another carriage ballista. We want as many of those in the Empire as possible. Good, good, good. Okay, obviously more important is over here at Ephesus, where we've got ourselves some ladders, some siege towers. We obviously already got the honour just to do the job, but he does have 2 comitatenses, so I thought we'll get some siege equipment. Let it in. Let's tear him a new one. Interestingly, they're not on the walls. I was anticipating them using at least 1 unit there, but the general is here instead, just plodding himself around. So we'll shoot down a hole, we'll smash down the towers, and hopefully we can at least kill one unit before having to get all the way over to the plaza, which obviously in this city is very, very much defended, and we can't splatter him from outside the city walls, unfortunately. But, you know, we've had our fun with that. Time instead to see what we can do to the infantry that are actually inside the walls. Well, we're in a nice position now where the ballista chariot can just shoot through the wall at anyone who happens to walk to try and block that particular entrance. And as for this, well, we'll just start shooting the towers down because there's not an awful lot more for them to do. So these guys are in a bit of a pickle. We're going to move the chariot ballista in line with the gateway now instead, and just keep playing that game. It should be quite amusing. Let's see, are we going to get a shot? We are! So we'll just run back over here and we'll do that instead. So this could be good fun. And at this point, who is the best unit to just stick in front of the gateway? Oh, it's the ballista chariots once again. Even in cities, you can find useful ways of making them as effective as possible. I'm surprised they still want to keep moving towards us. Apparently they do. We've got the next tower destroyed anyway, so I don't think there's too much to worry about here. We'll send the general in after them actually, because we don't really want to get these guys trapped in here, and they're not actually yet fleeing, so yeah, general, just come in and finish them off. Well, we're in position then outside the plaza. There's a lovely mini plaza on the size 5 cities, which is just magnificent. And obviously, while it is not so vulnerable to the heavy onagers, it is in many ways a bit weak to this kind of a setup. It's quite a good death channel. Normally I'd use the horse archers, of course, on this occasion. We'll use the chariot ballistas, who are apparently just marginally out of reach, which is surprising. So let's see if we can get them just to shuffle forward a tiny bit. Maybe then we'll get them in range. We've got the Palatina ready to just shuffle into position when they need to. So, you girls, yes. I don't know why girls. I just think of them as like Amazonian chariots, frankly. So, they're just going to shoot in, cause all sorts of utter chaos. And my Palatina, yeah, they're coming. They're coming. Get them out of there now, because they're going to take ages to get in position. Palatina, get in position. Hold that line. Panic, flee and run. Panic, flee and run. Horse archers. Get some nice shots in while you have an opportunity. That chariot's stuck. One chariot's stuck. Go away. Get out of there. Ah! There we go. We managed to get him out of there. That's good. A few javelins probably hit our own. Chariots causing utter chaos as ever they shall. But it's absolutely fine. These guys done a good job on the general. And the javelins are now coming in. You guys go onto guard, stay in position. Horse archers, shoot them as you go. And that'll be magnificent. The chariots are still running around. I asked you to stay on guard. Oh, now you numpties have to fight them by yourselves. Utter fools, but they'll probably be absolutely fine, to be honest. They're doing a pretty solid job, really, as you would expect. The Palatina, solid men who have all the defence you need. Down goes the general. And there he is, the other horse slammed into a wall, and with that we can very much bring the ballista back for fun. Back into ballista shots then, they're going to charge in, which is always a shame because it means we're going to have to run soon enough. But it's fine, we'll get them off, we'll just send them out of the city, frankly. It's probably the best way of doing it. And they're stopping, oh, they're reloading, yes, run away faster. Run away faster. The horse archers, though, are now in range, which is kind of perfect, because we just pulled them close enough, and now they're going to get pulled in once more. So I don't think they're going to last too long. It will follow them into the action because, of course, they're now going to hit the javelins. The Palatina are hiding around the corner. Oh, they're not happy about this. No, they're not. They are not pleased about any of this nonsense. They're going to try and throw javelins, but it's all going to go wrong. They're going to run away. They're going to get shot down like the fools they are. And I think we've seen enough of this. Clear victory in the end, only 5 kills for them. I will take it. Victory and glory, Ephesus falls a grand old place. I would highly recommend it as a place to go visit. One of my favourites, the mausoleum at Halicarnassus. That's not the wonder I was talking about. I mean, the mausoleum does still kind of half exist. We get the Melkor theme here. Lovely stuff. It's the only time you get to hear it. Still would be magnificent. I know they're talking about rebuilding it down here. Halicarnassus is more like down this corner. But yeah, they are talking about rebuilding it, which would be very cool because as one of the ancient wonders, it is these days very much just the foundations. So sad that. But Ephesus itself, oh, beautiful, beautiful place. So do we actually gain benefits from it on this? Construction things, which has always been a little bit rubbish, to be honest. Okay, so we have our boats, obviously. I wanted to send one more in this direction just to assist. Did have to clear off an attack on Constantinople's port last time, so just got to bear that in mind. Might need some more support. Get the spies to continue moving, and Ephesus should have one more, but we'll just keep that with the army, and I'll get myself an archer. We'll spend a turn. Actually, do we even need to spend a turn here? We don't really, you know. So, oh, the urban barracks can be redone. We don't really need any retraining, so it's fine as it is. Let's just keep moving. On we go to Ankara, and from there, hopefully, more victory and yet more glory. Ephesus, obviously, has been burnt to a crisp. Okay, this guy was just dropping off some spies, I believe. So we'll just send these guys back out to the sea to be kind of my sea scouts. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, we can see over here at Antioch, they have the faction leader himself and 2 first cohorts. So when eventually we get there, that at least there'll be some good units to slaughter. And yes, as I say, we've got our assassin in this part of the world. No one to murder. Bit of a shame, but we might well do a little bit of sabotage while we're in the area. Burn down their arena. And with that, let's maybe just move him slightly further towards Caesarea in the meantime. Okay, looks like the Eastern Empire are frankly putting up very little resistance. I feel like between us and the Hun attack, well, them failing to attack us and the Huns attacking them, feels like they very much had their back broken there. 3 turns till the Goths surrender, which, I'll be honest, looks like they've already attacked once, and maybe they've gone in for a second siege because they have been trying this. That's where the main force is, so that's good. It just kind of bleeds the Hunnic force down and just makes them less likely to ever attack me. But other than that, things are looking pretty solid, aren't they? We've just got to wait out things over in Vicus Saxones. Sinop goes down simply enough, just a couple units in there, of course, and another massacre. Thank you very much, Decimus Flavius. I wish I could have put down a watchtower when I was there, but of course it wasn't my territory at the time. So, more resistance is futile. Just a few men lost in the Altar Resolve, and yeah, interesting. Quite a few of their cities are like this, where they have some decent barracks. For example, if you're in Ephesus, they have the urban barracks, but you can see there's not even a trader. Basic mines, basic academy, basic arena, basic land clearance, none of it. But they do have an urban barracks and cavalry stables, and well, it's just a basic practice range, and that's not a great stables, but you know what I mean. It's a little bit extreme in some cases. Okay, well, Sinope hopefully isn't as angry as it always is in Rome Total War, and we can retrain, so we'll probably just leave those 2 behind for this next march, and we'll regather our troops. Oh, they're not happy about it. Shock horror. You know what, we can get away with monthly races for a turn. That's absolutely fine. We'll rebuild their temple for the time being. Ooh, we could Christianize it, actually. We certainly could Christianize it. Religious buildings. Yeah, why not? Go on. Smash it up. That makes them less happy. We'll go to daily race. Even daily race doesn't do it. It's fine. We'll just yearly races, and we'll just forget about all of that. Okay, Tribus Saxones. Now time to take you down, and the perfidious Saxons. Okay, good old Anthrax is going to take us on. We have some siege equipment with us. What do we have? I don't remember. It isn't saying it here, but we have like ladders and towers and things. So what do they have? They have swordsman, axeman, spearman, one of each. Very nice. Mounted nobles, and the general could be problematic if we're not careful. These are not experienced battle generals, so Yeah, no real armour on them either. They have, yes, golden swords, so we should be careful about this where we can be. Okay, let's hit it. As the battle starts then, immediately I'm just going to get some sneaky Plumbatari over on this slightly quieter end of the battlefield. So yes, run into that wall, please, my good sir. Now these towers are heading in. I'm actually sending this tower into this space at the moment. Shouldn't have given a reorder. Just to kind of try and keep it away from the tower over there. This is not Medieval 2, so we can't run with the ladders either. They have a pile of 3 archers up on that wall, and they got the cavalry down here, so this could be painful. Going to try and keep my Palatina back. We want to keep those fresh for the general at the end. I think that's by far our best opportunity of taking him out safely with our generals in tow. We'll be able to do this, but we are going to lose quite a lot to do this. Flaming arrows is not good. It's probably going to burn something down. Almost certainly the ram. The ram is a distraction as much as anything else. This is taking so many fire arrows is actually ridiculous. The ram's burnt down from about 4 of them. So yeah, you guys just run away. That's fine. You guys now turn towards there. That tower seems to have mostly got away with it. That is pretty much good news. And yeah, we should be able to chop down the archers if we can actually get into battle with them. A few more flaming arrows coming in. This tower just about holding. They've mostly missed really with that particular shot. I think we just about got them to the walls. That is lovely stuff. You go and grab this tower as quickly as you can. Run across, turn their own towers against them. They've not brought their infantry close enough. They're at the plaza. We should be able to start getting some of these on our side. These guys are up here as well. Likewise, just grab that tower first, and if we're lucky, that will very much work in our favour. There we are, we've got one tower, we've got the other tower over there. Start running in that direction too. Same with this guy. And actually, it generally works out quite well, because even though you're going to lose some men, towers are much, ladders are much better for this, because you end up with a stream of troops and they don't get shot as much. These don't have sideways arrows, but they do have inward arrow shots, so sadly that one doesn't. That would be brutal if it did, but we're going to go and grab, yeah, Levy Spearman. You're a bit late to the party, Levy Spearman. You can come climb up, but the tower is now ours. And oh yeah, they're going to start shooting some more in, but we are going to go and get ourselves in position over here. We might as well get our javelins on. If we're lucky, we'll pop out of here about the same time that these guys arrive. It'd be very, very helpful if that is indeed the case. Fine, ram is burnt down. It was always supposed to be a distraction. These Levy Spearmen are in an interesting position. We just want to try and get as quickly as we can up to here. Yeah, they're going to throw their javelins, but this tower is now ours. This tower is now ours, which means there's only 30 of them, actually. I forgot about that. There are not many, but they've done their job. They've taken over. Throw down into these guys as much as you can. Just they're desperate to get into position, but if they just want to stand and throw, that would be magnificent news. They are just going to shoot directly into us. Yeah, let's just run. Run into them, because that can be really painful when archers just shoot you on the walls. Come on. Don't move slowly, they're shooting you. Oh, the walls are so frustrating sometimes. We're going to lose so many more men than we need to. But they're now getting distracted by them. Good. Good. Get into them. This might be quite slow and painful, but the job is going okay. Reinforcement, chaps. You go and grab those ladders. That would be magnificent, because most of these towers are now at least safely, sort of, under some of our control. Mounted nobles are going to go down to this tower. Oh yeah, they're running towards that tower, in fact. So that is just brilliant. For a few more javelins in, and I'm very happy with that. These guys are, yeah, we're piling out of the tower at the same time. That's just what we needed to see. Just what we needed. Guys at the back, throw your javelins in. You push forward towards those hunters, because as long as they are shooting us from over there, that, as we learned from very early on in the Rebels campaign, even on back in basic Rome Total War, this is about the most dangerous thing on the walls that you can possibly face. So keep charging in. You javelin. Do what I'm telling you, damn it. And these guys, well, if they're... Oh, should we keep them up here? I don't mind them being there for now. We can't take over that tower, so they might as well, yeah, just stand in a vaguely sensible position. These guys are running past the towers again and again, so that works for us. Good. We're getting the hand-to-hand combat now. That's what we want to see. And to be honest, even this third unit has made it at this stage, and Chosen Axemen are down there. Get yourselves over here. Get yourselves over there, and get your javelins in. They lost quite a few men. I think they're already a little bit weakened. Okay, this is good. This is largely what we wanted to see. And not only these archers down here are actually doing a horrific job against us. We need to get some missiles down, but they're desperate to run. I think they're half another unit, actually. I think that might be what's happening here, because, yeah, they're just sort of pushing forward. Now they're running. Oh, ridiculous. I think Levy Spearmen, I think they might have javelins as well. So we're just getting a little bit of that issue. You guys, I reckon it's time for you to start running over here. I think we've got this. I think they're starting to fall apart, and if we can get these towers while all these units are still standing here, it's going to be absolutely magnificent. So keep running around. Yes. Good. These guys are getting in position as well. Just stand by that tower like I asked you to. That's absolutely fine. These guys just keep pushing. Keep pushing. If we can take over this tower right now, this is going to be an absolute massacre for them. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We've got the tower. We've got the gateway. And with that, this is going to be a bloodbath for their infantry, who, I mean, not the worst idea to hang around and stop us from climbing down, because there isn't much we can do. But now we've got the towers. It's not a place that they want to be. Pretty much everyone on the wall is routing at this stage, like every unit. It's just like 18 against 30. Technically, we still have the tower, so that's fine, I suppose. You guys just go and get yourselves over here. You're like the only unit that's left. This is why these guys need to hang back. Now, what we really need to do at this stage is run our archers up to the wall here. Yeah, so you guys get yourselves over here. And if we can get the archers up here, if they're going to hang around, yeah, we'll get our archers into these positions and we'll shoot you down. At long last, we're finally getting on top of these archers here who, yeah, weren't actually getting shot because there are no inward arrows or no sideways arrows. So there we are, job done. We're on top of all these guys. Stop what you're doing there and throw some javelins down into some of these units, because I like to get them thoroughly hurt if at all possible. Doesn't look like they want to be doing any javelin throwing, so apparently it's just going to be the longest grind, this. Finally, we can actually use our javelins. All of them on the walls have been killed. We only have one unit that's not fleeing. The funny thing is that they just don't come back from fighting to the death and being broken. There's no one to fight anymore. Like, you're on the walls, we've got the walls, the towers are all ours. I mean, yes, there are some people down on the ground, but there's a few archers shooting up. But really, lads, I wish these guys would actually do something whilst we're waiting, but we're just going to wait an hour for these archers to climb the towers. This is why I like the ladders. This is why I generally am quite a fan of ladders. Don't use the towers too often. On this occasion, it felt necessary just to pile in on the archers on the walls. It's a slow old battle, this, but we're getting there. And thankfully, we finally got some archers in shooting position, so the Warlord's getting a few shots peppered into him at this stage. These hunters have been shooting for way too long, and it's been quite irritating. So I guess we'll be shooting those. These guys still trying to get in position. I think there's 2 units piling into that one tower. And as I say, without the whole unit there, it's nothing doing. So in we finally go with some missiles. The guys who took the ladder are 90% actually arriving now. That's good. Oh dear, it's a bloodbath. Time to send in the last volley here. And I just realised how much this building looks like a face. Interesting. In comes the volleys then. And the general... Can we just aim at the general maybe rather than the Herv troops? I'm not so worried about the Herv troops. Let's get a few more hits in on this general before the final battle commences. Okay, general's got himself in a silly position here, to be frank. He's going to get himself in with all of the infantry. And there are some cav over there in case we need them. Pile into them. Yeah, missiles just shoot into them. We've got some cavalry in the rear if we need them. And looks like, yeah, enemy king is down. There are the Saxons. They put up a good fight here. An interesting battle. They could have potentially done more to make this truly, truly impossible for me. But in the end. No, it's not quite been enough. Get the general over there. The faction there had to do a little bit of fighting, which I think is only fair for him. Infantry, I think it's time for you just to head in. Get all the cavalry as well. Cavalry charge. And archers, yeah, well, the job's already done. That's fine. Archers been very, very, very much effective in this battle. Obviously, the pathfinding on these barbarian cities are absolutely nonsense. So they're now fighting once again. So yeah, look at this. Look at them try and pathfind a way to this. Absolutely atrocious. Right, I'm just going to cavalry out of there actually, because now we're stuck in the earth troops and they're actually on the plaza. So yeah, let's just panic them, but maybe let's not actually get ourselves killed unnecessarily here, because yeah, we are now against some proper heavy swordsmen, and we'll charge them in the rear, but there's no need for needless death, because yeah, silly things occur on these plazas. Anyway, job done. Piling him. Clearly won the battle. Bit of a hard bled army at this stage though. Yeah, the day is ours. And hopefully they have some good infrastructure and we can retrain the army. Of course, we shall exterminate the population, and with it, the Saxons are destroyed. Good news all around. Lots and lots of brutality, and there we are. And how is the settlement? Yes, we can indeed retrain. What is the blacksmith like here? Just a basic blacksmith. I don't know that the barbarian... I think they can get the middle level of blacksmith, but I don't know that they can get the full level. Okay, let's see what we can do in terms of just saving a little bit of retraining nonsense. Those guys, yeah, got the golden arrows. They're looking very strong indeed. We'll get all of those retrained. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And to be honest, we probably want to get another Palatina out as a future garrison. We'll build this army up. You know what, Marcus the Gambler, maybe you can just stay here and hold on to this. Obviously we're going to send, yes, already Flavius and this decorated hero off. Training costs down, that's a very useful timing. And it's probably time to end our turn. But we'll just have a little look around the map, see what I can do with the money, because there's a fair bit of money back in the coffers. Well, it's a new turn and the Vandals are at war with us. I'm not sure why. Nothing's happened as far as I can tell. Now, I have been sending my peasants over to Pannonia. Obviously the core of the empire is slightly on the weak side. I did see them wandering this way, so I had sent a couple archers down. I've got some cavalry sent here. I've been moving my troops along. The army that was going to be sent towards Alexandria, or to assist the Cyrenae army to Alexandria, is going to get a little bit of blood in first. So yes, Aelanius Pacuvius, he's going to have himself a bit of a practice run against the hordes. But at least we've finally got a war with the hordes, albeit, you know, this tiny drag of an army. Bit pathetic, but we'll give them a go. So Ravenna, yes, we're getting a couple Palatina in there just to assist with this. But to be honest, I mean, I don't know. We got 2 carriage ballista. That should be perfectly fine against this army. We'll see where they end up. I suspect there's a good chance they're going to get towards this bridge, because that's where they can reach. Whether they'll end up with the furthest back force, I'm not sure. But interesting. We might finally actually have a war on our hands. This guy who was over in Ravenna before is on his way, because we are sending the most Christian man who ever Christianed over to Christianize. Now, actually, it turns out Sinope, having started converted, was actually the only one, because I took Caesarea last turn, again, just another waltz into an empty city kind of auto-resolve job. After that, yeah, to be honest, it seems like most of this is actually Christian already, and Kyra isn't, so I guess he can head there first and foremost. But kind of notice they've also got a few troops in this part of the world, so I guess it's time to head in. We'll head into there momentarily. As for the Caesarea force, we'll leave the Palatina. We'll get moving. We'll just see how happy they are. They're happy enough, you know. Happy enough. So we'll keep on plodding along. I bought some Bosra mercenaries in the meantime, because they're obviously exceptional units. So yeah, a little bit of mopping up to do over here, and a little bit to do in Ankara. I tell you what though, before we do that, let's have a little just check around what's going on, because yeah, just worth having a little nose around. The Burgundy haven't offered me peace. I'm not offering it to them either just yet. So trying to decide what the best move of these guys is. Obviously we want Campus Frissi, that at least connects things. We could get Campus Chatty, but I don't want them left with one settlement, specifically a strong one. And, okay, they do have more in that direction. So maybe we do just continue in that sort of vein. But I think the army does need to... You know what, we'll leave Marcus the Gambler there. Can we get away with that, I wonder? Not really. No. We can daily races, but it's still miserable for a little time. So we'll wait a few turns. We'll get an academy, we'll get an arena. In fact, we'll go for the arena first because we can always... Oh, we've already got races. It's got a hippodrome of some sorts. Yes, fine. You can actually do races and games if you want to really control the population and waste all of your money. But let's not worry about that. That's their spy. Let's lop his head off. I don't think it might have actually been a different spy, maybe Burgundy, but he's dead now, so let's not worry about him. Okay, what we should probably do then is gather our forces, and we'll head towards Campus Frissi with this lot, and this army can head towards Campus Chatty. And if we have to go take their capital, we will. It will just open up a massive border with these guys and inevitably cause war. But you know what? They annoyed me, so they're going to die. So, you, my good sirs, gather the men, the good men, and we'll plod them in that direction. Low tax rate, not too happy, but we'll get ourselves another Palatina just to keep the guard up. And okay, yeah, we've got more troops over here who can kind of bolster that force up to near enough full strength. I'm happy with that. Otherwise, things are fairly chill, to be honest. Everywhere's just been getting lots and lots of infrastructure projects, seeing as at the moment we do actually have plenty of income from the east. Let's not talk about how we got the income, but let's get more income by smashing up Cyrus. So let's hit in. We've got 2 towers, but we've got the onagers now, so no trouble with that. Let's hit in. Let's blast them away. A few interesting observations about this battlefield then. Number one, we're so close to them, and we've got the chariot ballistas to obviously annihilate their reinforcements almost instantaneously, so that will be fun. The other thing is that over in this side of the battlefield, I did think it was strange that I had to get the siege towers, because it did say the walls were like 70% damaged. Indeed, it does look awfully like I can just stroll in, albeit we would get absolutely torn to shreds by those towers if we decided to do that. But there we go. Right, well, those Equites are just going to get themselves slaughtered. And ballistas, you can shoot at the Lanciari. That's fine by me. So yeah, they're just... If anything, guys, you're a bit too quick. You're catching them up. Oh, well. Yeah, let's just get these guys into them. That'll slaughter those chaps. You shoot them down, and I'm pretty sure this skirmish is done before it even begun. Lovely, they're in wedge formation and not charging. That's what you get for that nonsense, sir. And there we are, chariots have done their job over there. And with that, we charge them down. I don't think we took a single loss. Perfect. Lovely stuff. Just making sure these guys go around the walls. I'm actually using something I don't really show very often, which is if you hold shift and then give them instructions, they'll go to one position before they start going over to the other one. So you can see there, they're going to go all the way around and then all the way down here. I don't really know why I always forget to use that, but it's very useful, particularly when you've got these doom walls here. It can be very easy to get your troops walking straight into their demise, but no, we're absolutely fine. Onto the plaza we go, and this should be fairly straightforward. And of course, the plan here is to use our chariots as much as possible. We are going to do a little bit of running around. We do actually have a trap set for them over there, should the ideal opportunity come along, but we're just going to... We've just shot down the general immediately. Yeah, so we're just going to lead him in a fun little chase around. They will be able to javelin us, unfortunately. So, yes, we will be able to get javelined, unfortunately, Thomas says, as we get javelined. So that's why we're not going to hang... That's why we're not going to hang around. Thank you. Pete's sake, these guys are ridiculous, aren't they? Just... Welcome to the chariots, cheap people. And they're all gone. They're all gonna be gone, aren't they? They're not even running away properly. Chariot ballista, everyone. There's the hubris. I mean, that shouldn't have been complicated. It really shouldn't. But there we go. They're dead. After much faffing around, quite frankly at this point, I'm just going to make a long line of infantry and we're just going to deal with this properly, hand to hand, as the sandstorm begins, because quite frankly I'm getting irritated at this nonsense. Very little is happening. These level 4 cities are such a pain. They really are. So we'll get people in position. They're throwing in their javelins. We'll just have to take that a little bit, I guess. Lost a few men, but we got massive shields. Should be able to hold. Alright, they're going to come in. Charge them down. Charge them down, my good sirs. Charge! And into the melee they go. Okay. Plumbies. Good old plumbies. Get yourself into that flank. You get yourselves into that flank. And we'll throw in some javelins into their rear. That will hopefully get rid of them nice and swiftly. So get yourselves in position. That's position enough. You get an angle. And javelins ahoy! That should be doing a good bit of damage. Right, you get in and them in that rear and get the plumbies here. Get the general in as well, finish them off because, yeah, this has been a little bit more awkward than it should have been. But that's sometimes just the way it goes. Chop them down, charge them down, slaughter the lot of them. Someone get on with the death of these guys. Okay, I miss my chariot ballistas already. I feel very sad about this. Will someone actually kill this guy? Okay, after a very awkwardly fought battle, good start, and then some stupidity, victory is ours. Well, if nothing else, we'll burn the place down. We'll change around, actually, before I do that. What is it like? Oh, it's stupidly Christian already. Don't even need the most Christian man who ever Christian to come here, but he can come along anyway. I'm now a hero. Made it Christian like they always wanted. Okay, good. You, my noble sir, just go and plonk down a watchtower. Just give us a tiny bit more visibility in that part of the world. You can just head into the city for now. What do we have in terms of training facsimiles? Enough to get our Palatina back. Okay, that's fine. We'll get one more Plumbatari and we'll figure things out from there. Right, I'm just going to slaughter some of these random armies that are poking around and we'll get ourselves ready for Tarsus. Well, at this point we are just posturing around at our enemies. So the Burgundy I Spy goes down. We're just plonking our army over here on the bridge. Somewhere around Hamburg, I guess. Over here as well we have Nero Flavius, who's also standing awfully close to Campus Frisi. No generals around. They just seem to not have any as far as I can tell. So, I don't know. Have some killing practice, why don't you? Best to keep the knife sharp. So that'll be that dealt with. As for the Vandals, well, we are going to potentially have to deal with those. I call this the come at me bitch posture. So yes, not sure they fancy it. I did actually hire up the mercs, not because I felt I needed them, but mainly because I didn't want them to have them. So works for me, a few extra units. We've got carriage ballista on a bridge crossing. I mean, just shoot across the river. It's lovely. As for the onager, there is a heavy onager over here. Indeed there was. Now, I kind of wanted you to go to... yeah, for the Alexandria battle. I'm still just going to send that. I don't think I need that for over here. So I'm going to pop you on a boat and just send you off in this direction. You can head off to the open seas and one day you arrive and we can get on with that affair. Otherwise, things are looking pretty solid. We've got our peasants over here in a Quincum. Can we push that over the line yet? No. Nowhere near. That's like the final 1,000. I've got this on lower and lower tax rate by the minute, and I still can't quite push it over the line. We're trying, damn it, but yes, they're somewhat getting in the way of that. We'll get one more peasant over here. We'll send them over the border as well. And as for all of this nonsense, well, yes, Decimus Flavius has been marching towards Tarsus. He's killed a few armies on his way. The Ankara army. Now, I realise Salamis has actually got quite a few troops. Surprising, but that seems to be the case. We do now have a border with our allies, I should say, the Sassanids, but it's just worth bearing in mind. We do have a border. Could go wrong. They haven't actually got a port, which is very, very strange indeed. But that's just the way it is. I need to maybe figure out how I spent some of my money this turn, actually, because I've built a lot of buildings, but I probably need to get some troops on these borderlands. quite quickly. Maybe that's just what this army does, maybe just splits off. Seems a bit too strong of a force for that though. He's a bit of a waste, I would say. So, oh, we got that army back from Ankara, by the way. Most of those ballista apparently got to live, which is generous, I would suggest, but I'll take it. So, yes, Constantinople apparently a bit unhappy, probably because it wants its hermitage built up. Okay, right. Well, we do start to have a few more of these generals in this part of the world. We've got 3 of them over here now. We've actually got Telemachus himself, hero of the Odyssey, sort of. I mean, he's in the Odyssey. Bit of an old man, and I'll be honest, he doesn't look like the most interesting chap, but he's here, so we'll send him off. There's not really anywhere for him to go. I suppose we can send to Troy, but that seems to defeat the whole point. Either way, next time we're going to head towards Tarsus. There are actually a load of troops there. Very strong indeed. So this might be a long siege kind of situation. So over to Tarsus we'll go with that force. Wouldn't mind filling this last army spot if I can. Chariot carriage ballistics up to 7 experience. Very nice indeed. This army, to be honest, probably just needs to get heading in this direction as well. I'm not sure how much you can put up with. To be honest, can we get anyone there? There's just an archer there, that's all. I reckon 1 unit will be plenty enough. You know, we'll send 1 Palatina back. 1 Palatina will do, and the rest of us can come in this direction. Head towards Tarsus as well. You're just kind of reinforcements, really. We just want to make sure this army can barrel on from Tarsus onto Antioch. So yes, next time we'll get on with that and start to really crumble the Eastern Empire. Sorry, we're the Western Empire. I don't have assassins. Can we get 1 more? We missed the target. Unfortunate, but I wasn't expecting it. You might guess are okay, but nothing spectacular. This guy is 53. Nothing too much to note on him. Okay, well, we are slowly building up the army here in Cyrene as well. We've got a blacksmith now, so we're retraining, getting some cav into that army, as if the generals weren't enough, but we'll get a bit more cav in there. We know what's going on at Alexandria. There is an army around. It's decided not to attack us, but it is there. So we'll see how quickly we can deal with the Vandals. If it's quick, we can get them on a boat and send this gorgeous, gorgeous force of beautiful troops over to that part of the world. But you know what? There are actually some more troops being built around here to help out the Cyrene army, so I think they'll be okay in the long run. But for now, I will leave you. I am Thomas. This is the Nerds to Human, and this has been a Western Empire campaign. Thank you, and bye-bye. No! Not again! How did you lose to the archers? Anyone who's already got children, they've just been killed. Filthy pilchards, the lot I am. Oh, Steve! You were the best of all the Steves. Rum pum pa 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 pa.